Hi, I'm Gladys from Sophos Support, and today I'll show you how to perform common configuration tasks with the Web Control Policy in Sophos Central. I'll start by showing you several ways to configure Web Control, including the Web Control Policy, as well as adding tags and category overrides for added granularity. Next, I'll demonstrate the Sophos Labs IntelliX portal, which is used for looking up a website. Then, I'll show you how to exclude a malicious site, and lastly, how to exclude websites from SSL and/or TLS decryption. Before you begin, you will need to be a super admin in Sophos Central. Relevant documentation for this tech vid is linked in the description, so make sure to check it out for more in-depth information. Let's get started. Web control allows you to define the internet content that users have access to. In some situations, a website may be blocked unintentionally under a specific category due to these settings. For example, if your web marketing team is unable to research a site due to the entertainment category. When allowing a site, there are several ways to do this. You could allow that category explicitly within the web control policy to allow all sites of that type. However, this may not be the best option. Allowing a broad category on your web control policy poses a risk of unwanted sites, and this can lead to unintended access to inappropriate or harmful content. Some more restrictive options are to assign a different category to that specific site, which will apply across all endpoints, or tag all desired sites, then assign and allow or block operation in your web control policies. This will allow for more granular control. In situations where only a subset of users requires access, this is the preferred method. I'll start by going to My Products, General Settings, Website Management. Click Add. Now, enter the URL you wish to allow. In this example, I want to allow Netflix.com. The business-only web policy blocks entertainment and streaming sites like this by default. You can use the category override dropdown to define the desired category. If you wish to allow the sites this way, that's all that's needed. As mentioned before, you can add website tags for more granular control. Type in a new tag name or select a tag you've used before. You'll see suggested tags when you start typing. For ease of configuration, I'll name this tag Marketing Team. Ensure the website tags you use are specific to either a group of users or specific sites. If a single tag, such as one named Allow, is supplied more broadly, this can make it difficult to manage. Click Save. Now, adding the tag alone will not apply any changes for the endpoints. So next, you need to add the tag to your web control policy and set it to Allow. Go to Endpoint Protection, Policies. Scroll down to find a relevant web control policy. Go to Settings. Make sure that the controlled sites tagged in Website Management is enabled. Then click Add New. The new tag will automatically populate if it's the only one. If you have multiple tags, choose the appropriate one from the menu and set the desired action. Hit Save and we're almost done. Finally, ensure that this policy is enforced. Go to the Policy Enforce tab to verify this is enabled and not set to Policy Bypass. Hit Save one more time. You've now successfully allowed a site through the web control policy. Verify the policy updates have been applied locally by checking the Policy tab in the Endpoint Self-Help tool. If your browser has cached a previous response from the web page, you may still see the website blocked message. Make sure to clear your browser cache or try using a private browsing window when testing. Next, I'll cover the Sophos IntelliX portal. In some cases, malware could be detected on a website, or the site could be classified as malicious. If you're unsure whether to allow it or leave it blocked, you can quickly look up the website using Sophos IntelliX. To do this, go to intellix.sophos.com. Enter the URL you want to check and click Analyze. Sophos Intelix provides a detailed hosting context analysis of the URL, which includes the certificates, DNS, HTTP server, and geolocation where it's hosted. The page content analysis provides a cloud lookup report using machine learning, Sophos anti-malware, file reputation lookup, and a reference with virus total when available. From the reports generated, you can understand the verdict and decide whether to exclude the URL. To exclude a website blocked by a malware detection, additional steps are required in the threat protection policy, which will be covered later. If you think the website is miscategorized, you can submit a recategorization request. To do so, go to the Sophos support portal and navigate to the Quick Links section. Select Sample Submissions and you'll be redirected to our Sample Submission portal. The URL to this page is also linked in the video description. Select the Web Address tab. Fill out the required information, then click Submit URL. If you wish to know more about how websites are classified into categories, there's documentation linked on the same page, which will give you a more detailed explanation. Next, I'll explain how to exclude a website that's been blocked due to a malware detection. Note: never do this if you're uncertain about the content on a website. This should only be done with sites you trust completely, websites you host, or sites where you're certain a false positive detection has been generated and you urgently need access. It's best to allow Sophos Labs to review the content of a site and update the website category accordingly so an exclusion is not needed. Open the threat protection policy applied to your device. Go to the Settings tab. In the Policy Exclusions area, select Add Exclusion. Specify website and enter the URL you wish to allow. Remember to save the policy once done. Lastly, I'll show you how to exclude HTTPS websites from SSL and/or TLS decryption. Sophos can only scan the contents of secure websites if you allow decryption. You may wish to exclude this to protect sensitive data, and some website categories are whitelisted by default. In certain situations, decryption and scanning can cause performance issues or site accessibility and loading issues. So, adding an exclusion will address the problem. Note: we automatically block HTTPS websites that don't use TLS 1.2 or later. Most modern web browsers also block these pages by default. If this happens, you'll see this message stating that the website has been blocked due to insecure encryption. To test whether HTTPS decryption is the culprit, you can disable decryption from the General Settings menu. Under General, click SSL or TLS decryption of HTTPS websites. Check the categories excluded from HTTPS decryption. All the listed categories are excluded by default. You can turn these exclusions off, but you can't add or remove categories. To exclude specific sites, in websites excluded from HTTPS decryption, click Add Exclusion. Enter the details of the website and click Add, and save. If you continue experiencing site loading issues, there may be additional URLs being accessed when loading a site. In this case, use the developer tools in your web browser to find out which ones are being accessed and add exclusions if needed. And that completes our overview of common configuration tasks with Sophos Web Control. I hope you found this video useful. Check out the relevant documentation linked in the description. For further assistance, view and post questions on community.sophos.com and go to techvids.sophos.com for more great videos like this one. Thanks for watching!